everybody. How we doing this morning?
Great!
Nobody answered with a real word. Y'all just screamed at me.
I said great.
We're great. Thank you for getting a hint. I like you. All right. Is everybody excited for a story?
Yes!
Good. Say the name of your favorite stories.
Logan.
Harry Potter.
Good. Harry Potter. That's good. That one's at least a book. Yeah, I heard of Deadpool. Nice and creative out there. All right. We are going to read my favorite story today. This is a beloved bedtime classic. And it was mashed up with a very profitable licensing agreement with Disney. Yeah, this story is Cinderpool. It's Cinderella, Deadpool mashed together. It's fine, you'll figure it out, it's great. All right. It's not real. Now, a billion-dollar company can't get me a functioning lamp. Once upon a time. You know, that just doesn't feel right when I do it with myself. We should all say those magical words together. Ready?
Once upon a time.
Didn't that feel nice?
Yes.
Yeah. Cinderpool lived in a big mansion with his step professor and step mutants. The biggest of those step mutants, Colossus, was always making up silly rules around the house like, don't put your initials on other people's leftovers in the fridge. And for the love of Feige, stop hanging your underwear from the ceiling fan. What is wrong with you? Have you no... Anyway, the other step mutant, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, was always texting and rolling her eyes. She was so Gen Z. Both of these step mutants were very jealous of Cinderpool because Cinderpool had a much larger fan base than they did. One day, an expendable, non-union extra went running in front of the mansion screaming. King Thanos was going to have the biggest battle of Phase 3. And we all know that was the last good phase. Yes, yeah, we've seen him since then. Cinderpool desperately wanted to go to that big battle, but Colossus said,
"No, it is too dangerous, and you are not a good part of the team."
Then he rips apart Cinderpool's favorite costume, and Negasonic blasted it with her powers. It was so cool, so Gen Z, so on fleek, no cap, Sigma, Skibbity, Ohio. Did I use it right, kid? Yeah, so I wasn't quite sure. Cinderpool was devastated, vulnerable and exposed as he stumbled out onto the mansion grounds, weeping for dramatic effect. But then he looked up and saw, beginning to form, a magical golden sparkle circle. And out of that sparkle circle stepped his fairy hairy god mutant. You have to walk through the sparkle circle, Wolvie. Out of the sparkle there, Wolverine! Thanks for coming, buddy. Oh, fairy god mutant Wolverine! I desperately want to go to the big battle, but my mean step mutants destroyed my costume. He said lovingly.
What?
Trying to tell the story here, right? I can't go to the battle without a costume. You're my fairy god mutant. Do something with a magic wand and a pumpkin.
Just get another costume, and stop writing me into these stories.
Well, with that wonderful and mildly Australian life advice, Cinderpool ran to the wardrobe department, grabbed a new, freshly laundered costume, and headed to the big battle. He was late because he had to stop by the local 7-Eleven to pick up some chimichangas. Right? Yeah, but 7-Eleven doesn't sell chimichangas anymore, so he had to go to 3 other gas stations. Don't even get me started on Circle K. But anyway, when he got there, the Avengers were winning. Captain America looked so good in those pants. Cinderpool looked for his fairy god mutant Wolverine, who was
I can't do this anymore. I'm going to Bibs.
Oh.
All right, thanks for coming, Wolvie. That's fine. At this point, Disney didn't have the rights to him anyway. Cinderpool surveyed the battlefield and saw right there on the alien ship a single glove. He went over and picked that glove up. Gave these children high fives. It's a beautiful glove. Gold encrusted with colorful jewels. There were 6 of them, but I don't think that's relevant. Cinderpool said, I wonder who this fits, and put it on. After a bunch of buzzing, whirring, and clicking, it was a perfect fit. But then all the Avengers look over and they start screaming, Cinderpool, take that off. You're gonna hurt yourself. Thor started crying. But all together they said, Cinderpool, do not snap. So you know what Cinderpool does. That's right, Cinderpool snapped. Both physically and mentally, does it all the time too. Just start snapping, people are disappearing, reappearing, there's dogs falling out of the sky. It was super expensive for the VFX department. But eventually Cinderpool stopped. Everybody was back. And Cinderpool was the hero who'd saved the universe. Right. But then all the Avengers tackled Cinderpool to the ground, ripped the glove right off of his hand, blah, blah, blah. Years later, they remake the film, and AI Tony Stark's head onto My Beautiful Body, and it goes on to become the most profitable film in the Feige universe, the FCU. But it's okay, because Cinderpool went on to start his own film franchise, which breaks box office records.
Woo!
Yeah, right, thank you. And then they had to invite Cinderpool back to the Avengers Endgame 2, Electric Boogaloo. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the true story of how Cinderpool became the belle of the Avengers Ball. That's an applause, Pete. Yeah, there we go. Thank you all so much for joining me here for this first story. I hope you join me again. We have a couple that we do. But until then, drink lots of water, stay cool, and don't wear 4 layers of costume. Thank you for joining me for Story Time with Deadpool. Thank you. You're wonderful. Wonderful.
Good.